Welcome back, guys, to another weekly Outlook video. I hope you've all had an amazing week so far. I know we're only on Tuesday, and of course this is a slightly later than usual Outlook video. We were away for the weekend and we have just got back into the office now after maternity leave, so super excited to be back. I hope you all have been up to date with the chart work that we've been posting. We've posted another 2 charts for you over the space of yesterday and today, and we're going to cover some of the points that we're starting to marry up now with the biases we gave out from the weeks previous. So we're getting to some really pivotal points within the market, which is great because we can start expecting some larger expansive moves. Now, of course, we do have a lot of fundamental stuff coming out of the US, out of Europe. We will be discussing those in our Discord live streams later on this week. If you want to be a part of those, then the link is down below. Of course, if you want to stay up to date with the trade ideas I post on a weekly basis, then follow me on TradingView. You can see it on the screen right now. We're only 8 followers away from our goal of 500, so that would be amazing if you guys did want to be a part of that with us. If you do enjoy this video and you enjoy the markups that we give, make sure you hit the like button and you drop us a comment down below. So the next thing for our gold and euro charts. First of all, let's go across to what we had last week. Now we have the euro chart, which actually went insane with the likes. 313 likes there on the euro chart. We had a markup of a bullish trend continuation. Now we do have a similar scenario for the coming week, but you'll see here that we actually tap perfectly into that area of demand and we push higher. So it was literally played out perfectly for the continuation move that we expected. On gold, we also had a scenario where price was going to sweep the high and play bullish, or play bullish immediately and run the highs, and we actually got again a beautiful tap in early on and we ran the highs. So very nice continuations for the previous weeks. Now what we are looking at this week is we are looking at something similar. Now we have euro again continuing on from the markup we gave out last week, and we have this time a slightly different scenario. Now the reason why it's slightly different is because we had liquidity built up across the lows here that you can see marked with this red pen, and this ultimately is showing you that there is an institutional involvement taking price higher within here. We've now broken lower within here. Now many of you will be familiar with a trend line, of course, but we're looking at it as an institutional standpoint rather than a pattern-based chart entry method. And we're looking at this being an early indication that price may be looking to run our 4-hour low and bring us down into our daily area of demand. There is also a daily fair value gap within here, which means, of course, unfulfilled orders, and that may deliver us into the higher time frame bias of bearish, or into a potential daily time frame higher move. As you guys know, the scenarios that we give out and the scenarios you come up with yourself is a speculation based prediction, so don't jump in too heavily. Wait for the scenarios to line up with what you have. So far this week we were looking for a bullish continuation as previous, or a break of the low, and you will see that we are currently consolidating at the area of demand, which we have stated before generally does not happen that much if we're going to continue bullish. We expect small consolidations but not large areas consolidation like we have here. So we're looking for the possibility of price pushing higher to then sell away from supply, this supply to fail and price continue higher, or we're looking for a pullback to the daily area of demand. So let's go over to the actual live chart here, and you'll see that at the moment we are breaking lower through this 4-hour low. Now this at the moment doesn't hold a huge amount of bearing. Now the reason I say that is because until we close out of here, so we actually only have 35 minutes till we close out of here, this could be nothing more than a grab at liquidity sitting below. I believe this is a push down into the higher time frame area of demand, but it is always important to look at these institutional movements that deliver the trend line side of things, because it can give you a pretty clear idea of, okay, this may lead to a structural breakdown, which we have had now. So for this week, I'm looking for price to play lower into this area of demand and either go bullish or for this to fail and to take us lower. Now, if we do run into here to go bullish, I'm not going to automatically target this high. Yes, this is the daily high, but we've got to be realistic. And I'm going to look more into catching the pullback within what will be the new bearish sell-off range. Okay, so if we have a bearish sell-off range taking us into the area of demand, we of course have to see that fail before we can actually determine higher time frame long biases. So keep in mind, the potential here is for price to align with higher time frame again and start selling. And then there is also the possibility of a deeper pullback with a more aggressive continuation. Now, what is stated in the LinkedIn live stream that I hosted this morning was that we have quite a heavy fundamental week in terms of midweek news. Now, I will quickly pull this up for you guys. This is also the sentiment. We're heavily bearish on a retail standpoint. But coming up this week, we have a very, very heavy Wednesday. You can see this Wednesday is packed with high impact news. So we could, in fact, see price push into here with a nice bearish momentum, then a bullish move come higher, or we may see price pull back and then sell off heavily during news. We simply do not know what is going to be delivered yet until price has actually expanded or retracted from its current position. Remember, we're still waiting for the 4-hour break here. So that's the idea that I have for Euro this week. Of course, be sensible with the principles that you're following and trade what price is showing you. Now let's head over to gold, and we will show you what we're looking at this week on gold. Now, I've only just posted this. We've still got 4 minutes 45 left for our editing period. For anyone that didn't know, you only get 15 minutes to edit your posts on TradingView, and after that you cannot edit them and they become undeletable. So you could say something, you can't then edit it, make it look right. You can only stick with what you originally state. Now, what I'm looking at here is a similar story. We've broken the 4-hour low here on gold. We know that higher time frame bias is bullish here, and we put in an all-time high again last week. So keeping in mind that we've put in a higher time frame high and we are expecting price to continue following that bias, I have a couple of scenarios here. Excuse me. The scenarios are that we break out of this current 4-hour range that we've created and we run bullish, and then I'll be looking at this sort of trend line area and higher time frame area of supply for a possible sell-off or another expansive move. If we see another expansive move, I will look to follow that up to the liquidity stored at the high. If not, then I will be looking for a possibility of a longer term pullback, exactly the same as we stated on Euro. We could come down into the lower areas here. We have some areas of unmitigated price action on a higher time frame, so this is completely possible that we may start playing into those areas. But as it stands, we are in a bearish 4-hour range. We have liquidated the high, and I'm looking for a breakout of this range to confirm what we have, hence why we have the arrow breaking out here and the arrow breaking out here. Remember, you could be range bound for some periods of time, so I'm looking for this to break out to give us a little bit of an early indication as to what we could expect for the latter half of this week. Now, of course, if you want the literature behind this chart, there is the literature down here. If you don't want to listen to me speak, you can, of course, read what I've written. But let's go over and take a look at the gold chart here. So, as we explained, we are looking for price to break out of this or break down. Now, you can see that we're playing off of this area of demand, which is actually a higher time frame area of demand. But I do expect there to be an expansive move higher, and then I think there may be a sell-off. Now the reason for this is because we have had a huge sell-off from the high. We know this is an all-time high, which means the Institute is removing positions that were profitable from buys, and they may be converting them to short-term sells. This, of course, means there could be some more sell-off moves. Until we actually take out this 4-hour high here, or this 4-hour low, my bias is currently bearish within this range, and I may look for some short-term sells within here if price action permits. If we do see price start to run lower, I will be looking for this order block on the higher time frame to be mitigated slightly more, and then price run bullish if that is what it wants to deliver for us. But as it stands, we do not have a clear bias yet. We have had no fundamental news from today or yesterday, so there is obviously a possibility that we are just loading up ready for our high impact news Wednesday. We are yet to hit New York Open today, so I do believe we're going to see some movement from that as well. But I, as always, have been your host for this weekly breakdown. If you have enjoyed the insights that we are looking at this week, then of course hit that like button and drop us a comment down below. We massively appreciate all the love and support and all of the goals that we've been hitting with our socials over the last few weeks. We will be posting smaller time frame ideas on these pairs within the Discord, so if you don't want to miss out on those, you know where the link is for that. But until next time, guys, I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. Peace and love, and stay safe, guys.